Let me tell you about what I've been up to this week. I had a recall at very short notice for a role I'd previously auditioned for in a feature film. That was about two and a half months ago. And I have to be honest, I just assumed that I hadn't got it. I hadn't progressed to the next round. So you should never give up. And at short notice, a couple of hours before the Zoom call, I was asked if I was available and if I could do it. And it wasn't a problem if I couldn't, but I did it. And it felt more like the director just seeing if you can change gears as an actor. That's what it felt like. I don't know. Afterwards, I did something which I haven't done in a long time, and that is I think it's because of the short time period I had, I kind of did a bit of self-analysis about what I did and the choices I should have made and things like that. But, I quickly rid myself of all that nonsense because it doesn't help. It was very short notice. I was reading the script off my phone while on a Zoom call on a laptop, and I was just trying to do the best I could. And in that situation, that's all you can. So I don't know whether I improved or lessened my chances of moving forward, but we'll see in the future. I was really sad to hear about Glenn Hansard, the Irish singer, actor, music composer, who died on his motorcycle the other day. I thought he was a wonderfully talented man. And as a filmmaker, I remember seeing Once years ago and loved it. And I bought the soundtrack years ago on Apple Music. And he was in The Commitments, a film I really liked as well. And it just made me, when I look at a film like Once in particular, it's a simple story. It's a kind of slice of life, romance story, and simple, easily connectable themes and ideas in the film, delivered in a very natural way, which, well, for me, it drew me into the story. And I think that now I really like those sort of films personally, so I'm biased. That's the first thing I have to say. But I don't feel that way, and it stirred me emotionally, and I don't feel that way with the big Hollywood productions. They just don't do that. Occasionally they do. A lot of the feedback about The Odyssey is, people not feeling that emotional stir at the end of the film. And I don't know, I was one of them. So I don't like saying things about other people's films in general, but I didn't feel the emotional stir. And I think about films like other Matt Damon films, like, you want him to get off Mars, you felt a little something there. Even the Bourne trilogy, even though it's action and all that, the story is something that can stir you emotionally as well. I remember at the end of the third one where he gets shot and falls in the river, and the news report at the very end says that he was shot, fell in the river, but they didn't find his body. And you knew he'd survived. And you want that kind of stirring, like Maximus, finally getting back to his wife and child and Gladiator, things like, you want that as an audience. You want to feel that stir. And for me, I feel it not all the time, mainly through these smaller films like Once and that stir me. And tell simple, relatable, connectable stories. And I think they have more impact because they don't have, you know, the sci-fi world or the explosions or all the action built around it. It's just the story. That's my view anyway. And The Commitments, I thought that was a fun movie, great music. Yeah, so it's just sad. I never met him, but he just seemed like a decent sort of bloke as well. So that's sad. Sad for his partner, sad for his young child, and sad for the rest of us. What else? Made a couple of notes, just see if I forget, as I usually do. I still haven't started actively looking for an agent. I've identified a couple. I want someone that's flexible, you know, around my filmmaking efforts as well. I don't know what it is. I just don't feel motivated for some reason to really push that. Even though I've got a couple of projects that I really should have an agent for. I don't have to have an agent for, but I don't like all that contracts and organizational side of things. So even if all they do is that, it's good for me. So maybe that's how I should pitch it to them. I don't know. And as a filmmaker, I hate all that sort of stuff as well. The admin, the paperwork, all that. Not the fun part, that's for sure. I think that's about it. Chipping away at everything else, and I'm using AirPods to record the voice this time, so I don't know if it'll be any different from just using the phone mic. I still have plans to get a gimbal, or if the finance gods smile upon me, maybe at some point an Osmo Pocket or something to film these things, these videos. But I'm waiting. I don't want to spend the money until I have good reason to do so, and I have the money as well. And for me, that is one of my film projects really kicking off, and there's much more to talk about in relation to them, or one of these film projects. I've got about 4 maybes that I'm cast in, so if one of them cranks up, or, you know, I get dates and we go, then I think would be the time, because then I'll have, you know, travel stuff to show you, and location stuff to show you, and filming stuff to show you, where I'm allowed, of course. So I'm going to kind of wait until then. I think it's the smart thing to do. So you can still watch Kin Spirits on Tubi, Foursome and Relay. Links are in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.